Introduction to Stoicism and its relevance. Imagine facing life's toughest challenges, loss, pain, uncertainty, and still finding a way to rise above it all, not just surviving, but thriving. This isn't just about ancient history or forgotten philosophies, it's about something that can change your life today. I'm talking about Stoicism, a philosophy that has the power to transform your struggles into strengths and your fears into courage. It's not a magic pill, but a way of living that can help you navigate the chaos of modern life with grace and wisdom. Think about it. In a world that's constantly trying to push you towards endless desires and immediate gratifications, what if I told you that the key to true happiness lies in embracing simplicity, practicing gratitude, and focusing on what's within your control? This is not just another self-help gimmick, it's a time-tested, battle-hardened philosophy that great leaders, thinkers, and even emperors have used to lead meaningful lives. So if you've ever felt lost, overwhelmed, or just plain curious about how to live a good life, stick around. Let's dive deep into the heart of Stoicism and uncover the secrets to a fulfilling life, secrets that Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus left for us to find. Trust me, this journey could be the turning point you've been searching for. The only thing I ask of you is not to skip this video in any way. If you're here, consider yourself different from the majority, consider yourself an exception. Now act like one and don't skip any part of the content. In a world that often measures success by what you have rather than what you give, Marcus Aurelius stands as a towering example of true leadership. Imagine being the most powerful man in the known world, where every luxury, every pleasure could easily be yours without a second thought. Yet when faced with one of the most devastating crises of his time, a pandemic that threatened to wipe out a significant portion of his empire, Marcus chose a path that was radically different from what we might expect from someone of his stature. Instead of isolating himself in the comfort of his palace, surrounded by wealth and luxury, he took a step that was both bold and humbling. He began to sell off his own possessions, treasures that were not just valuable but also symbols of imperial power and divine status. This wasn't a mere gesture, it was a lifeline thrown to a society struggling to survive, a society that looked up to him not just for leadership, but for compassion and hope. This act of selflessness is a vivid illustration of Stoicism in action. Stoicism, a philosophy that teaches the virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, was not just a theoretical guide for Marcus, it was a way of life. By prioritizing the welfare of his people over his own comfort, Marcus embodied the Stoic ideal that true wealth is not found in personal possessions but in living a life of virtue and service to others. But Marcus Aurelius wasn't the only philosopher to espouse these values. Consider Aristotle, who believed that the essence of true happiness lies in living a life of virtuous activity in accordance with reason. He argued that real fulfillment comes from contributing to the community and living a life that transcends mere personal pleasure or material gain. Similarly, Plato emphasized the importance of the philosopher-king, a ruler who, guided by wisdom and justice, puts the needs of the state and its citizens above his own desires. When we put people first, especially in times of crisis, we do more than just provide material support, we offer hope, solidarity, and a sense of shared humanity. This is the essence of leadership that Marcus Aurelius exemplifies, a leadership not rooted in authority or fear, but in empathy, sacrifice, and a profound commitment to the common good. Have you ever hit a wall, feeling like every direction you turn leads nowhere? It's a common experience, one that can leave us feeling frustrated, hopeless, and stuck. But what if I told you that this feeling, as universal as it is, can be transformed into something positive? This is where the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius shines a light on a powerful truth: when one door closes, another opens. Marcus Aurelius, along with other Stoic thinkers like Seneca and Epictetus, taught that life is full of obstacles. But these obstacles are not the end of the road. Instead, they are opportunities for growth, redirection, and the discovery of new paths. Stoicism at its core is about understanding that we might not have control over the events that happen to us, but we always have control over how we respond to those events. This Stoic principle is a game-changer because it challenges us to shift our perspective from seeing obstacles as dead ends to viewing them as redirections. It's about embracing the idea that there's always another way, another path that we can take. This doesn't mean that the alternative path will be easy or straightforward. Sometimes it might require us to dig deep, to be creative, or to develop skills and strengths we didn't know we had. Let's consider the wisdom of other great minds in Western philosophy and psychology. Aristotle once said, "The aim of art is to represent not the outward appearance of things, but their inward significance." This idea resonates with the Stoic view of obstacles. It's not the external obstacle that defines our experience, but the significance we assign to it and the actions we take in response. Socrates, with his method of questioning, reminds us to interrogate our own beliefs about the obstacles we face. By questioning our assumptions, we can uncover new paths and solutions that were hidden by our initial reactions and emotions. This Stoic lesson that another path is always open is about more than just overcoming difficulties. It's about recognizing that life's challenges are an integral part of our journey. They shape us, test us, and ultimately lead us to our fullest potential. It's a reminder that we always have a choice, not in what happens to us, but in how we respond to what happens. In life, it's easy to get caught up in the cycle of planning, dreaming, and contemplating our next big move. We often find ourselves waiting for the perfect moment to start that project, to make that change, or to pursue that dream. However, Marcus Aurelius brings us back to a fundamental truth with profound simplicity: knowing isn't enough, we must act. This isn't just about having intentions or making plans, it's about taking concrete steps towards realizing those plans. Procrastination is the enemy of progress. This idea of taking action, of moving step by step towards our goals, is at the heart of Stoicism. The Stoics believed in living according to nature, which includes embracing our nature as beings who can think, plan, and most importantly, do. Marcus Aurelius himself was not just a philosopher, he was an emperor, a ruler who had to make decisions and take actions that would affect millions. His words come from a place of experience, reminding us that the path to fulfilling our potential is paved with actions, not just thoughts. But how do we overcome the inertia that holds us back? How do we move from dreaming to doing? The Stoic discipline of action offers a guide: start small, but start today. This principle is echoed in the teachings of other great philosophers and psychologists. Aristotle famously said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. This speaks to the power of taking small, consistent steps towards our goals. It's not the grand gestures that define our character or our lives, but the small, daily actions we take. Plato, through his dialogues, taught us about the importance of aligning our actions with our values and ideals. He believed that true knowledge leads to right action. This aligns with the Stoic emphasis on living according to virtue and reason. By taking steps that are in harmony with our highest ideals, we move closer to the good life that Plato envisioned. Taking it step by step, as Marcus Aurelius advises, is about embracing the journey of growth and self-improvement with patience and persistence. It's about recognizing that every big journey does indeed begin with a single step. Whether it's improving our health, writing a book, or working towards a better world, the key is to start and then to keep going, one step at a time. In the still moments of life, when the hustle and bustle fade into the background, we're often left with our thoughts, feelings, and, for many of us, our anxieties. It's in these moments that Marcus Aurelius made a profound realization: anxiety comes not from the world around us, but from within. This insight is not just a personal epiphany but a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, teaching us that true peace comes from within and that, to a large extent, anxiety is a choice. Stoicism encourages us to focus on what is within our control. The Stoics believed that while we might not have power over external events, we have control over our thoughts, perceptions, and reactions. This perspective empowers us to discard unnecessary worries and to cultivate a state of inner peace regardless of external circumstances. But how can we practically apply this teaching in our lives? How do we discard anxiety and find true freedom? First, it's important to recognize that anxiety often stems from our desire to control the uncontrollable, from worrying about the future to stressing over how others perceive us. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that these concerns lie outside our sphere of control and therefore should not occupy our minds or disturb our peace. Plato emphasized the importance of knowing oneself, suggesting that true knowledge leads to self-mastery. By understanding our thoughts and emotions, we can identify the root causes of our anxiety and address them with reason and clarity. Socrates championed the examined life, arguing that unreflective living is not worth living. By examining our anxieties, we can challenge their validity and transform our relationship with them. The process of discarding anxiety, as the Stoics teach, involves a shift in perspective. It requires us to let go of our attachment to things beyond our control and to focus instead on our responses. This doesn't mean ignoring our emotions or denying our feelings, but rather observing them with detachment and choosing not to let them dictate our peace. Starting the day on the right foot can set the tone for everything that follows. Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply. Despite his immense responsibilities and the power he wielded, Marcus committed himself to routines that grounded him and prepared him for the day ahead. He didn't wake up early out of necessity but out of a desire to start his day with purpose. He used journaling not just as a means of reflection but as a tool to align his actions and thoughts with his values. This disciplined approach to mornings wasn't about rigid schedules, it was about ensuring that each day began with intentionality. The principle of "well begun is half done" is a testament to the importance of starting our tasks, our projects, and indeed our days in a manner that sets us up for success.